about 30 mile an hour in the night. And the wind's been blowing around this side here. It's been absolutely fine there. I think we're getting a steady 20 mile an hour wind from the side there, and I have measured this with a Kestrel anemometer. Absolutely fine. So one of the first things I've done is I've replaced all the original cord, which was kind of heavy orange stuff that was very prone to getting water in. It was this stuff, and I've replaced it all with 2mm dyneema, and it fits in the line locks quite well, so I'm happy with that. And that was a saving of 100 grams on the overall tent, so just a tiny bit. And the other thing I've elected to do is to lightly pin these points out at the side to avoid flappage, and of course these are snow flaps that normally would be useful for when there's actually snow down, and I could have anticipated some last night. There is some on the higher tops over there still, but it was just got down to about 2 degrees and a little bit of spinning rain, and it was about -3 with wind chill. So yeah, so I've pinned these out. So to avoid flapping elsewhere, the second modification I've done is to, on the pointy flaps at the back, I've fitted eyelets, so I don't have to put rocks or anything down there. I can just pin that down, and that gives a little tiny bit of added security. Helps keep the back of the tent out. I'm just on this corner as well at the back, and help to avoid flappage. So on these sides here, I'm not going to do those. They're a little bit more obtuse, and they're absolutely fine. And of course, remember, you've got the option to bring these up for ventilation. And on reflection, I probably should have done that on the side, because the 4 degrees, so I did get condensation on the inside a little bit of dampness down here this morning, if you can see that. The rest of the tent's okay, and it's starting to dry out, and I did have the rear vent up there partly open, and I had the front door open, but it wasn't too bad, and I got over hot really. There was just me and the dog in there, and you can expect it in these conditions, some condensation, but it wasn't uncomfortable. My sleeping bag wasn't damp. So the other modification I've done is, this is the original door, so I've had made a tent repairer put on a full Mosquito door, and the idea behind that is it's a really good tent, and very good value for money, but I wanted to increase range of use. And you can get insects in the UK, you kind of not so much at this elevation at this time of year. It's late December, but certainly at other times, and I want to be able to use the tent more. So a mosquito net was a must for me, excuse me, and I can have the inner door fully open, and that's the mosquito door closed and the inner door open. So I had a very cosy night, and I've decided that for me this is just going to be my one-man tent, or me and a child. I have done it before. I'll put you a link to the other video of me with my young son and the dog, and it was definitely kind of cramps. So maybe it's 2 adults if you were very cooperative, or an adult and a child better, or a solo adult and a dog. That's my personal opinion. Other people will adapt better to that. So the other modification I've done is to the rear vent here, which is actually an access point. I don't know if you can see that, an access point for the rear outer tent vent, what I've done is just put this little bit of modified plastic on there, and actually that's part of a Cedas insole, and Cedas is a French company just like Simomd, so appropriate I thought. And then the other thing I've done is put some other no-see-on mesh back there, and I've stitched it round at the top and then put Velcro around there so I can have that open and have a tiny vent. But what I've decided to do is this upper section here, I've decided to make that all mesh. So I'm going to remove that section and just put mesh in there so there's a permanent high mesh vent. So that's the three modifications I've done. A extra no-see door to increase ventilation and versatility if there was insects around, and I've put eyelets on those rear storm flaps, and I'm going to do them on the front ones as well. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 little eyelets on the pointy bits at the front and back. I've put this little opener there and that Velcro down and stitched mesh, so I think that'll be good. So it's time to get packed up